Welcome to the world's most fabulous people series. I'm your host, Tanya Halfman, and I bring you these amazing people that are part of the Public Speakers Association. And you can find out how to bring them in to your events, your radio shows, whatever you've got going on, or just follow them on publicspeakersassociation.com under speaker search. So I am so delighted today to introduce to you, oh my gosh, this new guest star is, are you ready? Diane Halfman. Hey, Diane, how are you today?
Hey, thanks for having me.
I am so excited to bring you this amazing woman. So tell us, Diane, have you always been this fabulous?
I love this question because yes, of course I've been this fabulous. I look at it as, you know what? God put us here to be our most fabulous self. And, sometimes we don't always remember that, but, it's fantastic when you really step into what your brilliance is and who it is. And I look at, being fabulous is a choice. And so when you just step into just being who you are and doing your strengths and just doing you, then you can absolutely be fabulous in who that is.
So tell me how fabulous you are. So what do you have going on nowadays?
Oh, wow. I'm doing so many wonderful and fabulous things. I really, I teach so much about designing your life versus living by default. I mean, there's so many times where you can just get up in the morning and just do the same things over and over again. But I really help my clients design their life to be the life that they want so they too can be fabulous. So I'm doing some retreats. I'm doing some couples retreats. I've got one coming up in February in the beautiful Bacara Resort, which is amazing and fabulous. And I have an online academy called Clutter to Calm. So I really help people design their life to be the life that they want to be so they can be their most fabulous self.
I know that, I mean, you have so much information that I'm looking forward to getting to, kind of absorb. And I love your program because who doesn't need to kind of declutter and figure out, okay, what do I need to be doing every day, right?
Absolutely.
Because I think that's the problem is we get stuck in that, rigmarole of, well, this is what I do every day instead of what do I really need to be doing today?
Definitely.
So tell us, do you have an amazingly fabulous tip or tips today that you'd like to give us?
Yes, absolutely. So, I know that like our listeners, they are always looking for ways that they're here to do something bigger, right? I mean, we all are being called to do something bigger and they want to have a deeper connection with God. Some people call that source, universe, whatever that higher power is for you. Well, in order to do that, it's a journey and you have to actually create the space for that. And so one of the biggest tips that I share with people is that you need to create the environment that actually allows you to be fabulous, to do and step into your bigger thing that you want to do. And that environment is everything. Okay. So environment is actually greater than willpower. And my favorite example in this is because a lot of people think that they want to just jump into their willpower. They think that we'll just power through it. And just, if we give a little bit extra and, things will just happen. And what I really like to share with people is, you're exhausting yourself if you are relying just on willpower, where you're just powering through and maybe doing things that you don't even want to do. So my favorite example is if you have a goal about, you want to have a health goal where you either want to lose weight or you want to have more energy and, you'll say, okay, I want to do it. And, we all are amazing, right? The first day, the first week, maybe even the first month. But then, sometimes the goal just starts waning away and the willpower isn't actually pulling us through. And we actually need to create an environment that actually supports you to really be able to do the things you want to do. So if you have that health goal, my favorite example is if you have this gorgeous, juicy cupcake that's like 1,000 calories and you have it sitting on your counter and you walk past it like 100 times during your day, especially for us entrepreneurs that work out of home. If you walk past that cupcake enough during the day, you're going to get to some point where your willpower is not going to support you because you're either hungry or, you don't have anything else to eat, or it's just there. It's in your environment and you're going to eat it and you're going to feel bad about it. So I like to say, don't sleep with the enemy. Don't have anything in your environment that actually doesn't support you. So you want to have the things like you want to have some healthy snacks. You want to have things that actually pull you towards, have your environment create something that actually has you step into what you want to do. Now, you can do this in your office as well. What is in your office that actually inspires you to help people, to be productive, to do the things that you want to do? If you have anything that distracts you, it's not serving you. So you want to create an environment that inspires you, that pulls you towards the thing that you want to do, and that you don't rely on willpower to make it happen.
Oh my goodness, that is life-changing. I know for everyone that is listening, I know what I need to do today, right?
And it could be just one thing. I mean, it's the things that we don't think about, that you walk past every day, and you don't think about it till you go, oh my God, that is either draining me or not serving me or causing a problem. And you just ask yourself the question, is this inspiring me and moving me towards being fabulous and being the person I want to be in the world? Or is it dragging me and bringing me down and not supporting me in what I'm here to do?
Exactly. All right, Bills, goodbye. So tell us, I mean, because I know I've learned some amazing things from crazy moments, like an embarrassing moment or something. Have you had something fabulous that happened? You're like, wow, I didn't expect to learn that from that.
Oh, absolutely. In fact, what a lot of people don't know is my first career in my life was I was a San Diego police officer. I actually wore patrol uniform and I worked undercover. I worked gangs, narcotics, and vice. Now, what's crazy about this is that I was 25 and I came from a pretty conservative background. I had 12 years of Catholic school. I had no idea how people live their life behind closed doors. And so one of the things that happened was that I actually worked prostitution as part of the work I did. And there were so many things I didn't know about that world and kind of came to the job a little bit innocent. And I really realized that, I had to rely on a team. And my detectives would laugh at me all the time because I'd have to actually ask certain things like, certain sexual things and asking them like, is this legal? What do people pay for this? And it was just putting myself in a super vulnerable situation and just literally being out there on the street. And probably one of my favorite stories, about this was, being out there and having to, arrest people for these things and having to step outside my comfort zone and actually kind of in an acting kind of way, and knowing that it was a realization over and over again that I didn't have to do things on my own, that I could surround myself with people that knew things more than I did, and that I could really rely on that help. And probably one of my favorite stories, I was actually standing on the corner, and girl, when you're wearing high heels and you're kind of in a vulnerable situation and you're having to really kind of be in this acting situation, I had this guy who was driving by, and you've had this a time where somebody's like looked at you and they've looked at you too long when they're driving. He actually crashed. He crashed his car in front of me. The wheel came off the car and rolled. He pulled over and parked, and he still solicited me. And I was like, what are you thinking? Like, what is going on? He's like, well, I figured I'd have the time because I still had to wait for a tow truck. And I was like, what? And that was like a time where I just really realized that, what? People have really crazy ways of doing life, and there are things outside of ourselves that you have no idea. And we learn something from people all the time. And so to be really present with whoever you're with, and to really not be in judgment, but to be in wonderment, and just to go like, wow. And I really needed my team to really support me through some of these kind of characters that were happening, to know that, who we surround ourselves with makes all the difference in the world.
Oh my God. Wow, we could talk about this for hours.
Oh, girl, I have stories.
Obviously. I mean, hello. Just trying to, oh my gosh. Wow. So, yeah, we have definitely got to get you on my TV show and stuff. We have got to talk about this. How crazy is that?
So crazy.
This is what we don't even know. We always see people as they are today, and we have no idea what their past even looks like,
Right.
Or
It's
even
so
their
crazy.
past.
Yeah. Well, what's so, interesting about that too is that, part of what I teach a lot of my clients is, a lot of people live what I call the facade, where you show one aspect of yourself, but we don't like to show other aspects because we always want to look fabulous and we don't necessarily want to see other parts that maybe don't feel as fabulous. So when I was a police officer, especially in uniform, I had to show up. Of course, if people called 911, you had to be the strength, you had to have the answers, you had to really have it all figured out. And so I had to be that. But the parts that people didn't always get to see was at the same time, I was a single mom. I was trying to, pay my bills and make my mortgage payment and had all the concerns that were happening with that. And so, there's always these different aspects of each other. And so I really step into helping people with that as well, because, we want all aspects of ourselves to be fabulous. And we have to look at what are the things that are behind the scenes that we don't necessarily let people show, that don't allow us to always be our fabulous self.
I love that. I totally get it, because there's so many times that you meet someone and you're like, they've got it all together. And then you realize that they don't. You're like, what? How could that happen? Because we don't realize that we're all one person, and
Right.
there's different facets of ourselves. I love
Right.
it. So how do people get in touch with you? Do you have some fabulous to share with us today that we can take advantage of?
I do, especially when you start talking about the environment. A lot of people will be like, well, where do I even start? And this is another part of that facade where you might have a really thriving, amazing business and things are really going really well for you. But you know what? Behind the scenes, especially as a police officer, I've been in thousands of homes, and I know that people's home isn't always as fabulous as they want it to be, but they don't know where to start. And it's because we have busy lives and busy days, and we don't always go and deal with the stack of mail or the laundry, or we don't have systems in place that really support us. And so I really like to have people have awareness, because if you have awareness around you, like what's working and what's not, then you can really support yourself. So I've created a clutter awareness quiz. So you can actually go to theclutterawarenessquiz.com, and you can take this assessment. It takes 4 minutes. You get the results back right away. And where you're really winning and doing really great. And you can be excited about that. And then it also shows you the areas where you might need some support, or you might need to make one little shift or tweak that can really support you so that you can have those environments that pull you forward into all the goals that you want to have and not rely on willpower. So the first step is being able to know where you stand and where that is. And you can learn that by going to theclutterawarenessquiz.com.
Oh my gosh. All right. So everyone jump on that opportunity, because you need to declutter. Hello. That way you're attracting amazing things in your life and, challenging yourself at the same time. I love the whole approach. So getting connected with Diane and go to the clutter approach.
It's theclutterawarenessquiz.com. So think 4 words, theclutterawarenessquiz.com.
There you go. You got it now. Write it down. Don't forget, and do it right now. All righty, everyone. Thank you for joining us, Diane. And again, another fabulous series of an amazing presentation of people you need to know to change your life. So thank you, Diane. Thank you, everyone. See you next time on the World's Most Fabulous People series. Bye. Bye, Diane.